didn't expect to love some of these new product launches in January, and I didn't love all of them. But the ones I'm going to share with you today have completely changed my makeup routine and have found a permanent spot in how I get ready in the morning. So let's talk about January beauty favorites. First up, you guys know I love a good mascara. If I was to ever create a beauty product, I think I'd have to start with mascara because that is I gotta have lashes. Well, brows too. And lips. I think mascara is my one thing I'm the most pickiest on. Lancome has expanded their Idol mascara line. Now the original one of these I really liked. They come in 2 sizes. I bought the smaller one at first because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, and I will go back and get the new one. You guys might be asking why I have a lot of boxes for stuff. It's because when I buy something new, I keep the box and put the makeup in rotation. That way at the end of the month, I can go through all the boxes to remind myself of what products I bought and tested and throw out the ones that I don't like. So I feel like I show the box just so that when you're shopping, you can quickly identify which one it is because it will look like this. It won't look like this. All right, I need some mascara today. I don't have mascara on because I wanted to share with you guys how well this works. I'm gonna start at the base and wiggle. The marketing says that it has 1.5 times root to tip curl boost and adds up to 800% volume. That's one coat. Now if I was to add multiple layers, I could probably get up to 800%, but I don't need that. I think this is a really pretty look. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie where we are going through the aging process together. Some days we do it gracefully and some days we do it with a few complaints. But all in all, we are happy to be going through the aging process and I'm happy that we're doing it together. All right, so that is one coat. This mascara hasn't smudged on me, it doesn't transfer, and those are things that I really look for when it comes to a good long mascara. The other thing is that this is not a tubing mascara, and I know many of you wanted an alternative to some of my favorite tubing mascaras, and this is definitely one that I think you're really gonna love. I mean, just look at those results. The marketing says that the mascara will last up to 30 hours. I can't confirm that. I never sleep in my mascara. I wash it off every night. These products will all be listed down in the description box below. I've got a really good hair product. I think I'll save that to the end. Now we're gonna add a little bit of color to our face, and for that I have discovered Dibs. This is a blush. Let me open the blush side. This is a blush bronze duo stick. I recently highlighted these on TV on New Day Northwest because cream products are really good for the drier winter months. They're less able to grab and make your skin look patchy. For mature skin, a cream product is always more favorable than a powder product. Now, what I love about these is not only are they cruelty-free, but they have the same undertone, so you don't have to guess what blush to wear with what bronzer. They come in a variety of shades, and this is the Desert Island Duo. So I've got 3 shades here. It takes the guesswork out of wondering, does this blush work with this bronzer? And if you get the wrong undertones, it can look as though it's competing and it doesn't quite look right. It looks like you've got blush and bronzer. This is 1.5, so it is a lighter one. There's the bronze, and here is the blush. Really pretty. Another thing to love about these, you guys, is the size. You can easily just throw them in a purse. Today I'm going to apply 2.5 because I really like this pink color a lot. And then here is the bronzer. Before I do that, I'll show you the other one I have. This is shade 6 because I wanted it a little bit darker. Look at that blush. That is, put that on this hand. So pretty, right? And then here's the bronze to go with that darker one. You could actually, if you like this blush, you could use this as a contour depending on your skin tone or a bronzer. So a lot of different ways to use these. Again, cruelty-free, which I love. They also come in a duo stick where you get the bronzer and then highlighter if maybe you already have blushes that you like. Because blush is a bolder shade than a highlight, I like the fact that my blush and my bronzer are already pre-matched. Just, it's easier for me to just not have to worry about guessing which undertone. So let's wipe this off so we don't make any errors because Lord knows it'll be all over my white shirt. Why do I wear white on days that I'm gonna be playing with colors? And because we have more mature skin, I never go right in with any cream product, as creamy and blendable as these are. I like to go in with this Nikki LaRose N20 brush, which by the way, you guys, good point on these. If you love a good brush, Nikki LaRose, are some of my absolute favorites. She came out with the Volume 2 collection in October, I think it was. And the whole collection was about $200. Good news is, in the month of January going forward now, you can buy just a single brush. So if you're looking for a good brush that is the right size for our more mature skin so that you're not putting too much product, whether it's blush or bronze or contour or even highlight, this N20 is phenomenal because look at that. You saw how the product went on the brush. It diffuses it so you get just the right amount on your skin and it doesn't leave you looking stripy. Because of the dual fibers and the angles of those brushes, it's just perfect for so many different angles or shapes of your face. Such a natural, pretty blush, right? And this was 2.5. I tested a lot of blush products in the month of January. I don't know if you guys feel like all of a sudden blush is everywhere. It feels like at the end of 2025, weren't there, it was like lip oils, lip oil, lip oil, lip oil. And then we started seeing blush, and I tested a lot of them, and these I really like. Now I'm gonna go in with the opposite end, which is the bronzer. I'm gonna use the same brush that has a little bit of that blush left over and just really lightly do a little bit of a bronze. Because I don't want a heavy contour or anything like that. I just want to warm up the face. Now again, because these are so creamy and blendable, you could go in fact, let me just do that so I can show you instead of just telling you and saying, no, trust me, believe me. I'm gonna go in and just add it right to my skin. Same brush, great for diffusing product. These dipsticks are about $35, but when you consider you get two products, your blush and your bronzer, it's really under $20 each, which is what we're paying for most of our like Maybelline lifter sticks and stuff. So it's not a bad deal at all. And look how blendable that is. All right, now we need to add a little bit of highlighter. NYX has come out with these highlighter sticks. You guys, first of all, let me show you how small and narrow these are. Love these. They come in a bunch of different shades. I have this golden one, and then I also bought this more white one. I'm gonna put them both on just so you can see how they look. But look at how cute that is. Very small, very narrow, slips in your purse. And the best part is they're cream. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger, add it right to the high point of my face. So pretty. You know where else this would look good is right through here. I think these come in about 5 different shades. Really creamy. They last all day. If you use a setting spray, you can just put that setting spray right on top of that highlighter. It'll help lock it in place. And they're great little eyeshadow highlighters too. Hi, precious. All right, let's quickly go back in with that mascara and give it a second coat so that you guys can see. I want to make sure that you can really see this brush. It starts thick at the bottom, but as it gets to the thinner part, it twists around the brush so that you're able to get each lash and really get that curl. For some, that second coat may be a daytime look. For me, that's a really pretty evening look. Speaking of lip oils, e.l.f. did come out with some new lip oils. These are plumping lip oils. This is in the shade Major Mauve. And I like it because I'm a big fan of this shade, but I don't want one that is actually that color. I like something that's a little bit more of an oil or a gloss or a little bit more transparent so that you get the color, but I don't have a solid lip that color, because for me, that's too dark. And I don't want it to overtake my whole look. It gives just the right amount of shade. It does have that plumping effect, so there's a little bit of a tingle, but it's nothing like the NYX or that spicy one by Maybelline. I really like these, you guys, because it stays, the gloss look stays on for hours. So that's why I've liked this, and it doesn't feel sticky or tacky. So that kind of finishes that look. Now let's go into the hair products that I wanted to share with you. Redken does really good with their hair products. You probably already know that, but this Naked Gloss has been a big friend of mine. I just take about a dime size amount after my hair is dry and styled. I rub it between my hands just like that so that it's warmed up a little bit and that there's not too much in one area. I never start up here on the roots because it is more of a gloss, a little bit more of a heavier oil. It's not heavy at all, but it is more of an oil serum. And if I start with the roots, then I would need to wash my hair tomorrow, and I don't want to do that. So just like this, and then I start about halfway down and just grab the hair and run my fingers through it And that's where I get that really nice, I have a professional blowout shine to my hair. I like to rub the ends with it because that's where I feel like I have the driest part of my hair. This adds a nice lightweight shine to your hair. So if your hair is like mine and it's not exactly healthy, but you want it to look healthy, this gives me that look without weighing down my hair. I don't feel like it's in my hair. My hair doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't look like it's dirty, and I can have this in my hair for 2 or 3 days. I typically don't wash my hair but every 3 days, and by the 3rd day it still doesn't look oily or greasy. In fact, usually on day 2 I'll put a little bit more on my hands and rub it just in the ends, because that's where I feel like my hair starts to look a little more dry. And yeah, big fan of this. I should also say that none of these products are sponsored. All right, now I saved the best for last. I'm always on the market for a good setting powder to set my concealer. And I asked you guys, what is a good setting powder? And a few of you had responded with a brand I had not heard of before, and that is Carslet. This is a K-beauty brand. I ordered this on Amazon, and you guys were right. This powder you probably saw a few days ago on my recent Friday face-off. I won't give you a spoiler alert, but I tested this up against a $62 setting powder, and well, this one's in my favorites for January, so we'll leave it there. All right, so I'm gonna share with you how well this works. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. This is the RMS Revitalized Concealer, and I need it right there and right there. I've had to move where I put my concealer as of late. I feel like my face is a little more hollow in some areas. The key to concealer is you want to put it not only where you feel like you have some discoloration, and if it's too discolored, then you want to use a color corrector. Then you want to put your concealer where you see that it is shadowed, like for divots or jowls, for example. You want to let it set up for about a minute, let it get a little thick and tacky, and then press it where you want it. This isn't a concealer tutorial, but in order to do a good powder, I need to share with you how to use your concealer first, because the key to a good powder is it won't look cakey. But your concealer will settle into fine lines and wrinkles, so you got to get that out of those fine lines before you set it with powder. So once you have your concealer on, you want to do some squints so that your concealer will settle into those fine lines and wrinkles, and then press it out, because where you put your powder is where everything's going to stay. So go in and press out that concealer from settling into those deep marks, fine lines, wrinkles, laugh lines. Then you're going to want to take, I like to use my finger for my pressed powder, just a little bit of this. You can see it come up. Tap it off, and then pat and tap. I prefer the finger method for my powder because I get just the right amount on. The key to having powder under your more mature eyes is to have not too much powder, and a powder that is finely milled that just sets and locks everything in place. If you don't like this finger method that I prefer, a brush I would recommend is the Nikki LaRose N19. She specifically designed this to be a powder brush so that you get just the right amount, not too much, but that the way this is angled, it fits right into the corner of your eye. And those straight edges also allow you to take that powder at an angle so that you can really clean up any of your eyeshadow. You can tell that Nikki put a lot of thought into the design of this brush, and it shows because you can use it for a lot of different reasons. Again, you can also get this as a single. All right, you guys, well, that does it. Those are my favorites from January. And let me drop this little tidbit for you. I'm doing my first live stream on February 12th. I hope you can make it. It is gonna be at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. I hope you can make it. I'd love to chat with you live. And if you're looking for more videos, check out this recent Friday face-off. The ending was surprising for me. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.